Erik ten Hag makes Cristiano Ronaldo admission amid Harry Maguire problem. Erik ten Hag will not have fond memories of his first Premier League game in charge of Manchester United after they were humbled 2-1 by Brighton at Old Trafford. There was a lot to take from United's opening day defeat to the Seagulls, including Ten Hag's decision to bench away forward Cristiano Ronaldo and new defender Lisandro Martinez's questionable debut. Here are the latest headlines from Old Trafford. Ten Hag conceded that United played better once Ronaldo came off the bench against Brighton. The Dutchman opted against starting the prolific forward in favour of Christian Eriksen as a withdrawn forward, with Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho on the wings. Although he didn't score, Ronaldo made an immediate impact. His run-in behind setting up Rashford's saved effort. The 37-year-old has endured a rollercoaster pre-season, missing their tour for personal reasons and requesting to leave Old Trafford. Ten Hag said before kickoff that he left Ronaldo on the bench because 45 minutes of match action against Rayo Vallecano last weekend was not sufficient practice. But in his post-match press conference he admitted the impact his away forward made. It is clear to see that in the second half we were better in midfield with Eriksen down and Ronaldo up, Ten Hag said at full time. We created and Rashford had 2 good chances, it is a shame we did not score. Harry Maguire has admitted he wasn't on the same wavelength as Martinez on Sunday. Captain Maguire and Martinez were perhaps fortunate to get the nod ahead of Ten Hag's other defensive options. Fellow centre-back Raphael Varane was left on the bench, while Victor Lindelof, Eric Bailly and Phil Jones didn't make the 20-man squad. It's great to have Lisandro Martinez at the club, Maguire told Sky Sports. We have competition for places at centre-back. We've not played much together and in that first period we weren't on the same wavelength. Centre-back partnerships are built over time and we will get a lot better and keep clean sheets. Everyone knew the task. We had a bad season last season. We've got a new manager trying to put his philosophy on the team, but when we don't get it right we look far too open. Ten Hag appears to have dismissed the idea of United bringing in fresh talent. Many United supporters would like to see Ten Hag make another few signings before the transfer window closes. The new manager has brought in just 3 players since his arrival earlier this summer: Tyrell Malacia, Christian Eriksen and Lisandro Martinez. But Ten Hag wants his current players to improve before he starts thinking about a major overhaul. When asked if United need more players before the transfer window closes in September, the Dutchman told reporters, "We could do better with the players we had." Avram Glazer sees protests and Man United beaten by Brighton in rare Old Trafford visit. Manchester United owner Avram Glazer made a rare visit to Old Trafford to watch their poor defeat at the hands of Brighton on Sunday. Glazer is an executive co-chairman and a director at United but is notoriously hands-off in his approach to running the team. The 61-year-old American has been involved in the boardroom at the club since the Glazers' takeover in 2005, yet is never seen in Manchester by fans who are extremely critical of the billionaire family's approach. Avram is a lot less visible than his brother Joel Glazer, who was forced to front up following United's involvement in the hugely unpopular and ultimately doomed European Super League breakaway in 2021. But the older Glazer brother, who also owns NFL side Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was pictured at Old Trafford on Sunday for an afternoon he surely won't have enjoyed. According to Manchester Evening News, Glazer's visit was just his 3rd in the past 3 years, following a match against Chelsea at home in the 2019-20 season and another against Newcastle at Old Trafford last season. On Sunday he was in the director's box, behind Chief Executive Richard Arnold and Football Director John Murtough, to witness a chastening start to the Erik ten Hag era, with 2 Pascal Gross goals giving the visitors a 2-1 win. United were torn apart in the first half, with individual errors and collective slack defending allowing Gross to score twice in 9 minutes in the first half. It was a doubly awful day for Glazer, who was not made to feel welcome by the home fans. The first Premier League game of United's 2022-23 season was preceded by a vociferous protest outside Old Trafford against the Glazers' ownership. Video footage posted on social media showed a large group walking towards ground with a giant flag which read, "Fight Greed. Fight for United. Fight Glazers," alongside another which simply stated, "We want our club back." There was also a protest inside of the famous Munich tunnel around an hour before kickoff, with supporters chanting, "We want Glazers out, say we want Glazers out." The protest was certainly felt by the club, who were briefly forced to close their official megastore. The Glazers are unfit and improper owners. We have shown this over the summer with our digital campaign and revealing other confirmed information about exactly the type of family they are. "We will always support the club," said the 1958 supporter group in a statement. "We will always support the manager. We will always rise up against the current owners and any puppet hierarchy they appoint. Join us, stand with us, unite with us to make a stand for what is right. Our club's future is our only motivation. Some things are worth fighting for." Paul Scholes becomes second Man United legend to name and shame duo letting Erik Ten Hag down. Manchester United legends Paul Scholes and Roy Keane have pointed the blame at Scott McTominay and Fred for the desperate opening day defeat to Brighton. Ten Hag has identified the centre of midfield as an area United must upgrade, having already lost Paul Pogba, Juan Mata and Nemanja Matic. But with their pursuit of Frenkie de Jong in dire straits, the maligned duo of McTominay and Fred were selected. The partnership, affectionately or not, known as McFred, was a common sight under Ten Hag's predecessors Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralf Rangnick. And after failing to ever convince under those coaches, it was a case of history repeating itself against the Seagulls. Along with Bruno Fernandes, the three United midfielders managed to lose the ball on 25 occasions in the first half, with McTominay fortunate to not see red in the opening 45 and Fred quickly withdrawn after the break. It was a shocking start for Man United and the first half was shambolic really, Scholes told Premier League Productions. The signs were there right from the first few minutes that this was going to be bad. And Scholes pulled no punches when asked where he saw the main issues, pointing to the midfield duo and sarcastically suggesting picking either was one too many. He added, "McTominay was always trying to run with the ball, ridiculous. The quality in the middle of the pitch was really poor. I was happy he didn't get sent off, for a high challenge, but I think he was slightly lucky. Again, his running with the ball, absolutely ridiculous. It could easily have been a red card. The quality in the middle of the pitch was nowhere near good enough, but we've seen that for the last few years with these two players. With Fred and McTominay, Ten Hag, is going to have to go with just one of them, but even one of them is probably too many. Fred gives the ball away all the time and McTominay is trying to run with the ball constantly and then gives it away. Pass it to your best players. It's not that difficult. It's criminal on a day like today." Scholes' old midfield partner and general, Roy Keane, was similarly scathing in his post-match assessment of the pair, claiming United will not be able to compete with them in place. The decision-making and the football intelligence, in particular from Fred, and I've said it for a long time, Fred and McTominay are not good enough, Keane said on Sky Sports coverage of the game. They won't get Man United back competing at the top, we see it week in week out, not up to it. They had to gamble in the second half and Eriksen is probably in his position when he drops back and he's picking up people but too little too late.